Welcome back to the 4th Street Sports Show. We've got a special interview today. It's basketball season, so we're going to talk to the Lady Eagles. We've got head coach Joye Lee-McNelis and sophomore center Melyia Grayson to the show. Just a little background. I'm pretty sure y'all know who Coach McNelis is, but she's entering her 19th season with the program with over 500 wins now to her name during her time here. And joining her, sophomore center Melyia Grayson, who was the CUSA Freshman of the Year in 2020 and is following an honorable mention all-conference season last year with an average of nearly 11 points per game and a team-high 5.8 rebounds per game. So thank y'all for coming. How are y'all doing? I know y'all just practiced. So.
Thank you guys for having us on. I really appreciate it. Also, Melyia was picked preseason second team All-Sun Belt, which that's really exciting as well. She's been out with a concussion, so she got to cheer from the sidelines today. You want to talk about Coach? She got to be Coach Grayson today. So let's get a little feedback from Coach Grayson from the sidelines.
I'll say from the sideline, you see way more, so you're able to learn more and also to push on your teammates and show them what they're doing wrong so they can correct it and just try to cheer them on, encourage them to be better, be the better versions of themselves that they can be there in practice. So it's kind of cool.
And have you ever had that experience before?
Yeah, I have. Last year. Yep. So it's probably my second time having to do this again. So
I would rather be on the floor.
I mean, we were just looking at the schedule. The exhibition match coming up November 2nd, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Just how are y'all feeling just with the season coming up? What are the kind of feelings right now?
I'll say I'm excited because I think we have a lot of new pieces this year, and I think everybody is really more bought in and ready to play their roles and do what they got to do to get the job done. So I think it's gonna be really fun.
You know, I think a couple of things. I agree with Melyia. We've added some really nice pieces, and we return a solid core. I mean, we lose 5 players from last year's team to graduation, but we return Melyia Grayson, that was the team's leading rebounder and second leading scorer last year. You know, you return Dominique Davis, that was newcomer of the year last year and led our team in scoring, and led our team in assists, led our team in steals. She was our team's most valuable player last year. So you returned the 2 of them, and then you returned a much improved Rose Warren. You return a much improved Lauren Gross that's really and truly has really worked hard on their game and gotten better. Then you return a starter in Melyia Gray that has been out with walking pneumonia. She'd been really sick for 2 weeks. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She was short of breath, fatigue, was not like Melyia. She had been tested for COVID, the flu, and been tested for everything except pneumonia. Continued to get worse. We decided we'd send her back to the clinic. They decided they'd do a chest x-ray and found out she had walking pneumonia.
My goodness.
And so she's been out for a couple of weeks. But you returned Melyia Gray, that was our defensive player of the year, on our team. So you return a solid core. No, we do not have Deja Almond. That was their starting point guard for 4 years. You don't have a Kelsey Jones that was truly our most efficient player on our team per minutes played. You don't have an energy player like a Destiny Smith, or you lose an efficient rebounder like Fess Hawkins, but you return a core. And so we felt like as a staff, if we could take that core and add some pieces like Jacoria Bracey from Ole Miss, like Femi Funis, that is from Seton Hall, that is a grad transfer that's coming in that will have 2 years left to play. We signed Lonnie Cordenfield, a point guard out of Northwest Florida State. And you take the 3 of them, and then you add a freshman, Sharday Watkins, into it. That kind of gives us a good mix. The good thing is, with Melyia Grayson being out, Asia Leak, which has been in that sophomore class, she's had to step up and practice a lot and have had to shield a lot of the physical play from those guys because of not having Melyia, and she's really improved, as has Emma Walhoff, that never got off our bench last year. She's really shooting the basketball extremely well.
Just from the start of the offseason to now, how would you evaluate, what you've seen from the squad and the work they've put in?
I think we've really improved. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think our improvement level is a solid 8. I think there's a lot of improvement. My biggest concern at this point is just continuing to understand each other on the floor. For example, today, there was some frustration with our turnovers because we think someone should cut here and they're not. Or, well, why wasn't she looking here? She was wide open. So I think those are things you can clean up. And it's what I said in a group when we huddled was, you can't throw the ball. Yes, she was open, but she didn't know she was open. You saw she was open, but she did not know. So you can't pass the basketball to her. So those are things we've got to work on. Things that we can control is our turnovers, our offensive rebound, and defending the basketball. Those are things we have to really bring every single day. And I think the other pieces will come and fall in as the season goes on.
Communication is like one of the most important parts of basketball and teamwork. It's like one of the ones that people don't understand. They think it's all about shooting. They think it's all about rebounding. But communication and like being mentally present so important. So I understand what you're saying about that. Melyia, I just want to talk to you about just what's some ways coming last year, freshman, as we said, of the year, right, in the Sun Belt, and
well, she's sophomore, but this will be her 3rd year. So
right.
Yeah.
But anyways, just what is the main thing you're trying to improve on from last season?
For me, I'll say being more consistent and getting in better shape. As far as last year, I wasn't so consistent, but just getting my numbers up higher and being able to play more minutes, I think that's the biggest goal for this year.
And Coach really praised you earlier when we were at the media day about the work you put in conditioning. Could you just talk about, how you approached this offseason and really what you wanted to get out of it?
I think it's really all about if you really want to do it or you really don't. So, I mean, like, that's just what my mindset was, that I really wanted to get better at it. So I just put the time in, took the time out to go do it. Got with my coaches, our strength trainer and all them. They just helped me to get better at it. So,
and kind of how does that help your confidence starting the season? I've heard somebody, I don't know where I heard it from, but they said you don't want to be the same player as you were the previous year. How do you feel entering the season on a standpoint of getting ready to play?
I think it made me feel a lot better. As far as being out there, I think that I'll be more with getting in shape and all that. I think it'll make me be more consistent with everything. So I think it's gonna turn out good.
And Coach kind of touched on this a little bit, but I want to get your perspective on this. What have you seen from your teammates and maybe the vibe in the locker room going into the season?
I think it's a really good vibe as far as from last year. I think, like I said earlier, a lot more people actually bought in, and we really care about trying to make it to what our end goal is. So I think with us doing that every day and during practice, it's going to all show at the end. So,
Coach, obviously the first year in the Sun Belt for the basketball team. Obviously, we don't want you to give up any game plans or anything, but just could you talk about just the competition level in the Sun Belt this season and what Southern Miss fans should be looking forward to when they go to a Lady Eagles basketball?
And that's what's so key about our guys practicing with us, because the Sun Belt is a much faster league than what we played in Conference USA. They're going to score in 7 seconds. They're going to score in 8 seconds or put up a shot that quick. And if you look at the numbers, they shoot 600 threes, and they'll shoot it quick. And they were joking with me at Sunbelt Media Day, and they said, well, Coach, you only shot 300 threes. And or 200 and something threes. And I said, yeah, but we made 30-something%. I said, I would have a stroke if my team shot 600 threes and only shot 25%. There's no way. I just told them today, shooting a mid-range jump shot, if you're shooting 18%, I'm going to break your arm if you keep shooting it. No way. But they're going to shoot it fast, and they're going to play fast. And that's the great thing about these guys, is that we've got to learn to play at a pace under control faster than we've ever played. And that was today with our struggle against the guys, is that we could not match their pace under control. When we tried to match their pace, we turned the ball over. And so that's why they're so important to us, is to be able to control it. And not that we will always play that pace, but defensively we have to slow that pace down. So transition defense is key, half-court defense is key. And offensively, because when we slowed down offensively and we were composed, we scored. So we've got to be able to control the tempo of the game, because the Sun Belt's usually going to play 4 guards in 1 post. I like to play 2 posts, so we're very different. I've just got to make sure my 1 post can guard a guard in their action. So that's going to be a challenge for us, to be very honest with you.
A lot of high-low stuff in Neil's offense.
Yeah, and that's what I like to play. That's what I've always played. And, you know, I was talking to my son that coaches at Arkansas State, and he says, Mom, the only team in the league that plays like you is Texas State. There's nobody else. They play high-low. They run some of the same stuff you all run. Nobody else does. That's going to be the only team you face that's going to be like you. And so we're having to make some adjustments to be able defensively to make some changes, and then offensively make some changes. And that's where those guys come in. And that's the challenge that, you know, I had for Melyia, and you heard me say that we want Melyia. Melyia averaged 19 minutes a game last year. And a lot of that was foul trouble, conditioning. And this year, we need her to average about 30 minutes a game. We got to keep her on the floor. And that's extremely important for us to be able to have some success.
Is it good to have that sense of identity, though, that you're one of the only Sun Belt teams that plays that way?
I think so. And I think that, you know, it's just different. So they've got to adjust to us as well as we've got to adjust to them.
Melyia, I bet you like to hear, I'm going to get 30 minutes a game. Just overall, how are you feeling about, you know, this transition and adjustment, you know, Coach was talking about? How has it been to kind of go through that in practices?
It's been a challenge, but I mean, you just gotta fight through it if you really want to get to that point. So if you do it now, it's gonna come to you in the game. So just gotta keep at it.
And offensively, you know, what you talked about defense adjusting to the pace, but you know, what do you think you're gonna bring in the Sun Belt and ways that you're looking to expand your offense that, you know, the Sun Belt might not be ready for?
I think, like she said, we run a lot of different. We run a lot of stuff for posts. So, and they're more guard oriented. So I think we're gonna have a lot more open looks as far as with our size versus their size.
And Coach, you talked about the new faces a little bit, but you know, how do you think they're gonna play? Could you just talk about how you think they're gonna play into this season and what y'all are doing this year?
You know, I think some of our new faces really are game changers for us. They've just got to feel comfortable. Jacoria Bracey from Ole Miss, like I said, we had recruited her out of high school, and she played 2 years at Ole Miss. And we've told her this. I think she's a game changer. She is really a game changer. She can play on both ends of the ball. She can shoot it. She can drive it. She can board it. She can pass it. She played for her mother in high school, at Rouville High School, won a state championship, played point guard. She will be our 3rd point guard back. She'll play the 3rd string for us at the point guard. She's better on the wing because she can get out and run. She can get out and she can go and she can fly. She's probably the best sheer athlete on our team with explosion and all that. But she's just got to get comfortable. And a conditioning level, again, for her has got to get better. She's got to improve on that. You know, Lonnie Cornfield gives us a different dimension that we didn't have with Deja Almond. Lonnie Cornfield can really shoot the basketball, where that was Day's struggle. However, also the thing that Lonnie has that Day had is defensively, they're both very good. But Day has 4 inches on Lonnie. So that's the biggest difference, where Day's length gave us a different dimension. Lonnie doesn't have that. So again, we think Lonnie will be able to be a difference maker for us there. we will miss days length defensively. Femi really has kind of been up and down, to be honest with you. She's really solid. She's just been up and down. She's had some injuries and she's had some soreness. Femi's got to get to a point where she can overcome, soreness and hurting and those things. You just, as you get into the season and you've been practicing, that's going to happen. And she's just got to learn to continue to press through on those things and, again, figure out where she's going. And I think she will be able to help us as well.
I'm going to talk to Coach Melyia now from this perspective. You're going into your third year. You probably went through some similar things learning the system. Could you describe, what that experience was and maybe how you've been able to kind of help the new players trying to learn the system?
I would say as far as like trying to help them like on the sideline, just like pulling them to the side or like actually like just yelling at them while they're on the court, telling them what they should do better the next time or how they can fix it or what I seen that they didn't see that I can show them what they didn't do right that time, but then they can do it right the next time. But it's been cool to be able to sit on the sideline to actually watch and see what our team actually can do. So I see a lot in us, so it's gonna be good.
Melyia, how much does confidence play into basketball?
I'll say a lot. I don't know. I'll say as far as confidence, if you don't have it, it's hard. It's hard to play. You just gotta tell yourself that you got it. Like I do a lot of talking to myself and telling myself that you can do it.
And confidence, you mentioned confidence, and I tell them all the time, confidence is not like a fairy tale. Yeah. It's not like something sprinkled on top of you. You have to build your confidence.
Exactly.
And it has to be self-talk, and it has to be with reps. Whether it be shooting or whether it be ball handling, it's got to be constant reps. And, we do a shooting drill at the beginning of every day in practice, and they start underneath the basket and it's shooting. And when they finish, they have made 60 shots. Well, if you make 60 out of 75 shots, then you're feeling pretty good when you walk away. And against that's a mental issue, that you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Now, if you shoot poorly from it, then again, you're not feeling very good about yourself. And so it's kind of like in games. You make that first shot, you're feeling like, this is going to be a good game for me. And so I think, though, that over time confidence is built. And so I think you have to do that. And be honest with you, some of the younger players struggle in understanding that. Because in high school, you're the best player around and you don't think much about having to prepare. But you mentioned the word mental earlier. Yeah. And I just gave them a lecture the other day. You have to leave your feelings in the parking lot. You got to bring a tough mentality in preparation in the Coliseum to be ready to practice, to prepare.
That's good.
And talking about the Coliseum, we've got games coming up. Do y'all just, before y'all leave, want to give any information or message to the fans about the upcoming season?
We have next Wednesday, we play Auburn-Montgomery in an exhibition game. And then we return for our education game against William Carey on that Tuesday, November, I don't know the date. Can you grab that schedule? November the 7th. That's 11 a.m. game, and we've had 9 schools that has responded. Personally, I'm a little disappointed. I've even put it out on social media. I've probably caught a little flack from it. But we're only at 1,400 students, and my opinion is when you're looking for role models, when you're looking to educate your children, getting them on a college campus, that some kids never get an opportunity to be on a college campus. Why not give them an opportunity by bus to get on a college campus, walk around campus, let them see what it is about going to college, give them some exposure, give them an opportunity to see 2 great universities right here in our community. Us and William Carey play on that Tuesday, November the 7th. And we need a large crowd because I'm going to tell you, we have a tough game. We have Alabama coming in here in December, and our Thanksgiving tournament is going to be tough with Lamar and Nicholls State. It's not going to be an easy non-conference at all, and we need a lot of people here in Reed Green to get us rolling.
That's facts. Melyia, you got anything to say before we head out?
I think she nailed it.
Well,
Be there.
Can't wait to see the Lady Eagles play again. We thank y'all for coming again, and we'll be back with our flowers. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.